Melissa and I did a movie called America at Risk, The War with No Name, and there's a 90-second segment where Congressman Lamar Smith asked the Attorney General, do you think radical Islam might have something to do with this? And he says, well, gee, I don't know. I mean, I don't understand the question. He said, well, you know, these various people who are trying to kill us, do you think they might have some connection through radical Islam? So I hate to use terms like that. So a car bomb fails to go off in New York City in Times Square, smokes. Our entire national security apparatus comes down to a vendor, a street vendor, who notices the car is smoking. That's our early warning signal. He goes to a cop. The cop notices it. The bomb squad arrives. Mayor Bloomberg's first comment on television was, well, maybe it was somebody, let's not rush to judgment. Maybe it's somebody who's opposed to Obamacare. I didn't make this up. Now, to the best of my knowledge, in the hundreds of terrorist incidents in the last 10 years, none were by people who were opposed to Obamacare. It turns out, of course, as all of you now know, the car bomber was a Pakistani who lied to get American citizenship. When asked by the judge, this will tell you how bad off our elites are, the judge says to him in open court, but you swore an oath of allegiance to the United States. And he said to the judge, you are my enemy, I am at war with you, and I lied. That seemed to be such a strange concept. Your generation is going to face a long struggle, I believe at least as long as the Cold War. I think it is going to be extraordinarily dangerous. And I think if our opponents get either a biological or nuclear weapon, we are in real trouble. And we are not today having the national dialogue we should be having about how dangerous this is and how bad it could get.
I want to respond to that. I'm a little uncomfortable focusing on the notion of radical Islam, because the truth is radical anything is what's bad, and people who use violence if we arrested 126 people who were threatening terrorism or whatever, let's just suppose we missed 3 times as many of that. So let's suppose there are 1,000 people. Suppose there are 2,000 people out there in America trying to blow us all up that are Muslim. That means there's 1,998,000 that aren't trying to do that, and they are American citizens, and a lot of them are fighting against terrorism in the United States Army in places like Afghanistan and Iraq. I don't think we ought to... This is not... What radicals do is they polarize people to get this kind of reaction. Look, when we signed up for this mission 230 some odd years ago and wrote this incredible Constitution, which elevates by hope and aspiration humankind, we did sign on to American exceptionalism. We're getting there, I think. I don't share this pessimistic thing. Do we have people who are going to threaten us? Yes. Are there going to be more violence? Yes. Do we have to maintain vigilance? Yes. There is a qualitative difference, at least right now, between what's going on in Egypt and Tunisia and what would have gone on 10 years ago. These are people your age. They are much, I wouldn't call them secular. They're probably fairly devout Muslims. They are not radicals. Now, our biggest worry, I was talking to Michael Oren, who's the Israeli ambassador yesterday, our biggest worry is we're going to have El-Baradei, and he's going to turn out to be Kerensky. And then next come the Bolsheviks, and we get into this authoritarian. It doesn't have to be that way. You've lived long enough, so I don't think any authoritarianism or fundamentalism is an attractive alternative, because intolerance breeds intolerance. And we can't fight intolerance with intolerance. The truth is the radicals that are attacking us, are in fact bigoted, misogynist, and intolerant. And if we respond that way, they've won. And I'm not going to give up what America believes in because different individuals happen to belong to a particular religion or a particular sect. People who attack other people are bad people. I don't care if they're Jewish, Christian, Muslim, or Hindu. They ought to have the wrath of the Attorney General and everybody else after them. But I don't like the term radical Islam because it singles out a whole bunch of people who I don't think are radical.
I'm not going to comment quickly.
Have a few minutes. Go ahead.
Let me just say a couple things. First of all, I think this is an important dialogue. I'd be happy to find an accurate term, but, you know, there have been, to the best of my knowledge, no radical Norwegians.